My name's Tyra Eggert, 21 years old, and I am currently a senior in the veterinary medicine program at UNR. This is my puppy in training, Jockey. He's 6 months old right now. I'm currently a puppy raiser for the Eyes for Tomorrow puppy raising group for Guide Dogs for the Blind, and he's just my puppy I'll have in training for about a year. He's my third puppy, and I've been in it since my freshman year of college, so it's going on my 4th year in the program. I love constantly having a dog with me. It's really nice because my parents never really wanted us to have dogs when we were younger, so when I got to be able to have my own dog, it was even better than getting a normal dog because everyone always complains about how their dog's at home doing all these horrible things and stuff. And don't get me wrong, the dogs do bad things, but it's kind of nice always having the dog with you, and I really love seeing the growth that they get. Like the second they start turning that certain age and they start looking at you with light bulbs going off in their head, and they start actually seeing that, you start seeing that you're actually making a difference for the dog, that you're actually seeing them, that they're learning these things, and you're like, I did that all on my own, kind of. Like, it just felt really awesome to be able to do that, and then to be able to help someone get a dog afterwards. So, and also I love puppies, so having constant puppies is pretty awesome, so big incentive. A girl that I worked with at Shield, she was in the program with her dog Oakland, I believe, and I've always really been interested in animal behavior and animal medicine, hence my major. And I talked to her about it, and she's the one that told me about the program, and I got involved that way. I feel like our purpose really is just to make the perfect dog that's fit for helping someone get independence. We all know that like there's such a low passing rate because they need the perfect dog that really wants to work, that has that attitude and everything. They get to grow with us, we get to interact with them. We use a lot of social interaction, and we get them used to being in public. We teach them all their basic commands and everything, and we just teach them how to be good dogs in the house and outside the house. Pretty much just making them the most well-rounded dog they possibly can be to make them ready to be with their blind person and go off to formal training. We get our puppies at usually 8 to 10 weeks old is the common age that we get them. We do have transfer puppies, but typically we start when they're young. When you sign up an application, you get your puppy after puppy sitting for a while. And puppy sitting is when you're really interested in the program. You start like watching other people's dogs. Like if I was to go on a ski trip, people might watch my dog while I go. It just gives them the training and understanding of what they're doing, and then they sign up for their own puppy because it's a little bit more difficult when you get the little guys. So what I would do personally is you get your puppy at 8 weeks old, and you start training them is their name and going to the bathroom. Really, it's like the biggest important things. Then you go with your basic commands, so sit, stand, down, and then we get into a little bit more complex things like kennel, go to bed. We teach them to sit and wait for their food, and we teach them a lot of calm behavior, so puppy handling we do every night. And we kind of just teach them to get used to having their paws touched, being put into a layover and stuff like that, just to make it so if they ever have to go to the vet or be touched, if they get a rock in their foot when they're walking with their blind handler, that they don't freak out and they're really used to it. It's a comfortable experience, not a traumatizing experience for them, since they're used to if some kid runs up and grabs their tail, they're not going to be like, holy crap, who just grabbed my tail? They'll be like, oh, I'm used to having my tail grabbed. We teach them to walk on every surface. We teach them how to see a distraction and see it and then look away from it, but notice everything around them, since we want them to see everything, but we just don't want them to react to everything. So that's probably one of the hardest things to teach, I would feel like, is teaching them to see a distraction and not want to go at it. Like, especially if you see people playing fetch, not having the dog want to play fetch with the people. So teaching them to get used to that, doing commands in every single situation. It's pretty much basic obedience and social interactions is what we do. I think if you're really into having a dog with you and you love dogs just as much as I do, I feel like it's the perfect thing to do, especially for people that don't have the time, like they're out and about all the time and they don't have the time to take care of a dog maybe at home. I think it's a perfect way to get best of both worlds. You get to have your dog with you everywhere. You don't have to worry about your dog being home alone and being lonely or doing bad things at home. I think it's a really good way to get into that, and also if you really like the thought of helping someone, it's a really good way to get involved. It teaches, I know a couple of people, they have kids and they get involved in the program because they want to teach their kids how it feels to let something go for someone else, teaching them like not everything's always about you, it's good to be selfless. So I think it's a really good way to learn that because it is really sad. The hardest part is giving up your puppy, but you're doing such a good thing for someone. You're giving them independence with their life, and they're gonna love the dog just as much as you do. I was originally planning to go to vet school, and ever since I got my second puppy, I knew that guide dogs was meant for me. And I've now decided that I'm gonna go to get my master's in orientation mobility and actually go work for guide dogs after that. So the goal is to become like a mobility instructor or orientation mobility specialist for guide dogs and permanently work with the dogs. So I just fell in love with the program so much that I really wanted to incorporate it permanently into my life. So it really impacted me. I feel like completely changed everything, because I wanted to be a vet since I was probably in first grade, and now I'm like, nope, I think I want to work with guide dogs. I just loved it so much. And my best puppy handling tip would be to be really careful about where you place things in your house. And also to expect the worst behavior out of your puppy no matter what. Like, every single puppy is completely different. You get one puppy that might just be like the most perfect angel, and then you don't expect it with your next puppy, and you are a lot more lax with a lot of things, and all of a sudden your shoes are getting destroyed, your carpet's being eaten up and stuff, just because you weren't ready for a dog that was naughty. So I feel like just being ready for the worst dog possible maybe coming into your house, and really puppy proofing everything, even things you wouldn't expect them getting into, because nothing's worse than having something you love get chewed up by one of the puppies.